Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, once again in front of Minfilia. I wonder, do you perchance recall the commitment I made to furnish our border with a capable adventurer? Well, I'm sorry to say that I have as yet been unable to do so. Now, I realize you are rather more than a capable adventurer and that escort duty is frankly beneath a man of your talent, but I have no one else to turn to at present. Might you be willing to forgo rest and assist us in this matter? Alright. Generous to a fault, I thank you, Sirius. Now, it seems only fair that I explain the import of the task in question. For some time, our order has employed a handful of scholars to travel around Eorzea, taking etheric readings that we might better understand the impact of primal summonings. Naturally, it behooves us to ensure our employees' safety, and so we ask the adventurers in our service to serve as escorts. Horribold and Courtenot were to act as two such escorts, as was a third adventurer. Alas, due to injuries, that adventurer is not presently fit for duty, hence my need to impose upon your goodwill. You truly are a pillar of strength, Sirius. Horribold will share with you the details of your task. He should be waiting for you outside. Be safe. Sirius, is it true you agreed to lend us a hand? Huzzah! What did I tell you, Coldino? All misfortune has become a blessing. An opportunity to serve alongside the warrior of light himself. Need I remind you that we have 3 scholars to escort, each of whom will take a different route? True, but our mission is the same. Separated by arms we may be, but in spirit we shall be together. If such thoughts bring you joy, you are welcome to think them. To more practical concerns, Sirius, we would have you attend to the scholar charged with surveying the South Shroud. He is waiting at Camp Tranquil as we speak. All you need to do is follow the man. He will determine the most appropriate locations to take his readings. In spirit, Sirius. In spirit we shall be together every step of the way. At last, the science man deigns to grace me with his presence. A pity that we have no time for pleasantries. Our first destination is Isomha. Come, we are late enough as is. Yes, this location should suffice. Once I finish calibrating my instruments, I will require but a moment to take the necessary measurements. I trust I need not explain that my work can suffer no interruptions. And please, stand at an appropriate distance and keep watch for wild beasts. I see we have both completed our respective tasks. A satisfactory outcome, though if I could make one suggestion, you might try to dispatch your foes more quietly in the future. I do not like to pick fault, but I really must be allowed to concentrate. Now then, snake mold awaits, shall we? Right about here, yes. As before, I would ask that you keep an eye out for dangerous beasts as I work. Fascinating. These readings are not at all what I expected. Though perhaps that should come as no surprise. I'm not given to superstition, but there is a queer, almost blasphemous air hereabouts. Let us quit this place and return to Roots Lake. We have one last site to survey. As before, my guardian, pray leave me to my task and ensure our safety. This data should prove invaluable to... Ye gods, what is that stench? Did you slaughter a creep of adamantoises while my back was turned? Quickly now, to Camp Tranquil. I will not have my clothes reeking of blood and offal. There's noticing, Isomha, this is the entrance to the Palace of the Dead. Snake Mold is Amdapor Keep. And the lost city of Amdapor is Amdapor City. The 2 dungeons and this extra content thingy. It chose to paddle in the echo a while longer, I take it. No matter, I took advantage of my unexpected privacy and performed a cursory analysis of my data. It would appear that there has been a measurable decrease in Eorzea's ambient aether concentration since the calamity. However, this data is far from conclusive. We must take additional measurements to confirm my assessment. For our next survey, I would have you escort me to Urt's Fount. The ambient aether concentrations there are so high that crystalline structures form spontaneously. Consequently, anomalous fluctuations should be much easier to detect. Brilliant, yes? No, don't bother answering. That was rhetorical. Now come along. You should be more than familiar with the procedure by now. Pray find a suitable position from which to keep watch while I take measurements. Yes, quite high, yet still markedly lower than the historical measurements taken near the end of the 6th astral era. Could the presence of a primal account for the difference? Or is there something else? Something else. Something else? Scion? Scion, come here! I need you! The wet's corpse. Fear not, my friends. Help has arrived. There you are, Sirius. Hurry, and I'm a worry when you and your charge fail to return at the appointed hour. gutted like a hawk. But not by one, no. These wounds were made with a blade. Doesn't look like he put up much of a fight either. Nary a mark on his sword or shield. I've heard nothing of any Crystal Blades operations in this area. What caused that Wilbur to come here? What should we do? We will see to the Scholar's protection, Sirius. I and the boys remains. You should return to the Rising Stones. The antecedent will want to know what happened here. And so do I. Remember, Raoul told us he was missing. I've never been this close to a oh gods. Sirius, you are returned. And you seem troubled. Did the role of escort shave so? Wilward? Dead? Mayhap murdered? By the 12th, how can that be? I will send word to Alphino at once. We want to conduct a full investigation and send word to Wilward's family. Gods, he was just a boy. Who would do this? And why? Though recent events weigh heavily on our minds, we must needs set them aside for now. We are come to a defining moment in Eorzean history. A grand commemoration of our joint defense of Ishgard, the first time in 15 long years that our people have stood side by side with our neighbors to the north to fight in common cause. This may mark the true rebirth of the Eorzean alliance. Failing that, it should at the very least serve to bring our nations closer together. We have every reason to raise our voices in celebration, do we not? We have bested Ravanians and Ascians both. Against desperate odds we have fought and won. But the primals still plague us, and the Empire still plots our subjugations. And our triumphs, remarkable though they are, were bought at a terrible price. Brave adventurers and allies, broken on the steps of faith. And before our eyes, in this very room, our dear friend Moonbreeder. This is the victory we have wrought, and it's as bitter ashes in my mouth. I would sooner stay here and invite those with more appetite to enjoy the feast in my stead. Alas, it's a royal banquet, and all our allies will be in attendance. It's our duty to present a united front where we might serve as a beacon of hope to all. It seems I have no choice but to take my own advice. I instructed the others to meet us in Uldar, that we might make our grand entrance together. Unfortunately, I had to settle for leaving Tataro and Lam in a note. If they do not return quickly, they will have to settle for whatever leftovers I can smuggle out of a fragrant chamber. After a big survey, Sirius. Where's a glass for me, eh? Or not. You don't look best pleased, lad. Something on your mind? I found Willet. He's dead. Probably murdered. By the navigator. Willet's dead? God damn it. They must have known they've been rumbled. I mean, sod it. Past time we had this talk. After our last conversation, I got to thinking about where certain funds were coming from. So I had to dig around. On the quiet like. And sure enough, I found it. Seems a fair bit of coin made its way to the Braves' coffers, courtesy of a Dodo consortium. Daft name for a business if I ever heard one, which was what first gave me an inkling that something went right. So I went through the ledgers again and found another half-dozen donations from organizations with stupid bloody names. Didn't take long to find the common thread. All were owned by the Mirage Trust. Oh, I give a bastard credit. He showed us up for the amateurs we are. Short of calling one of his businesses the bloody bribery consortium, I don't know what more he could have done to mock our rules of financial contributions. The gods only know how many men of the first and thirds are taking Telegi's coin. But now we know, as some of them are. I'd wager me right eye, they're the ones what did for Wilbert. The earnest young fool had taken to asking the wrong kinds of questions. Bound to attract attention he was. Should have seen it at the time, but I didn't. God damn me. Still, I don't see what Telegi hopes to accomplish. He hid his schemes with all the care of a drunk pissing into the wind. No, he's cleverer in this, so we need to be clever too. That's the only way we ever will pay his debt of blood. We'll purge every one of them traitorous bastards from our ranks. On that you have me word. And Sirius, mind yourself when you're an older, eh? We're heading into a storm, I can smell it. The kind what'll sweep a man overboard and drag you under, for he knows it. Doesn't sound as if a banquet will be as peaceful as everyone hopes, right? We've been waiting for you, Sirius. The celebration is due to begin shortly. I had hoped that we might make our introductions together, but Mistress Momomedy just sent word that you're needed at the quicksand. If I did not know better, I should think our bard had run afoul of another jilted level. Is that... no. Just my imagination. Oh, pay no attention to me. This is a habit from my misspent youth, looking over my shoulder from time to time. Food when dancing, or food... or dancing when food? Or food when dancing when more food? I do hope Ida is not under the impression that we're here to make merry. We are ostensibly the antecedent's escort after all. What is Fanquet looking out for? We will go on ahead, Sirius. Pray join us once matters of the quicksand are resolved. Give my regards to Momody and let her know that I will call upon her anon. I appreciate you dropping by on such short notice, Sirius. I know you got places to be, so I won't waste your time. You're friends with a crystal brave by the name of Alien, aren't you? Former adventurer? Come to think of it, I'm pretty sure you recruited her yourself. Well, anyway, she came round for a meal not long ago, and before she left, she asked me to give you a message. Said if the others ended up dragging you to the feast, I was to see you got it before you made your grand entrance. Meet me at the station west of a coffer and coffin. There's something I must show you. A short message, I grant you, but she thought long and hard before picking those words. Barely touched her food, too. Under other circumstances, I'd have thought those signs of a troubled heart, but something tells me she ain't planning to confess her undying love. I don't see Alian. As you stand upon the platform, your thoughts begin to wander, and all too soon the ghosts of comrades lost as an enemy slain begin to file by your mind's eye in solemn possession. Clearing your head, you scan the horizon, but see no sign of Alian. Straining your ears to listen, you hear the chatter of Kirkion and the buzzing of sylphids, but no availing footfall. Sighing, you bow your head, only to notice the vial lying at your feet. Serious? Is that you? What brings you out all this way? Lieutenant Alian, why no, I haven't seen her about. Had she come this way, I guarantee we would have crossed paths. Must have passed this spot a dozen times. We are to patrol the city environs on account of a royal banquet. Captain's orders, you understand? Speaking of which, isn't it about to begin? You should be with the other honored guests, enjoying your well-deserved respite. Aye, pray return to Ulda, Sirius. If I chance to meet the lieutenant, I will tell her you are here. Suspicious looks and communications.
O Sultan Tree, hallowed spirit of my line. Through my weakness, the glorious house of Ul has all but disappeared beneath the sands. For want of the strength to raise it up again, it were better that it fall. Forgive me, but I know not what else to do.
Okay, she wasn't there, but this strange vial was. I reckoned you head straight to the feast after meeting with Alian. What's the matter? No appetite? So she wasn't there, but this was? Eh? Let's see. Looks to me like an alchemist's vial, but beyond that I can say. Might be best if you hold onto it for safekeeping, though. Could you hold onto it for safekeeping? Maybe give it an alchemist to investigate? Please? I got a terrible feeling about this. Anyway, no use worrying about Alian. I'm sure she'll turn up before too long, and when she does, we'll soon find out what this was all in aid of. Besides, you got more important things to think about. Would you believe that while you were away, another message arrived for you? Well, one did. One delivered by the Sultana's handmaiden, no less. Seems Her Grace desires a private audience. Her handmaiden will meet you on the royal promenade and escort you to the Sultana's chamber. So what are you waiting for? Go on then, go!
You needn't trouble yourself so.
Your grace is most kind, but it is no trouble to me, rather an honor. If your grace is ready, I shall summon the warrior of light.
I am.
Everyone looks to be in high spirits.
With good cause.
A common victory may serve to unite even the most unlikely of allies. You've brought us one step closer to a united Eorzea.
Your modesty knows no bounds, Antecedent. Were it not for your efforts, Sir Emmerich would never have become such a steadfast ally. When he convinces his countrymen to rejoin the Alliance, we shall all reap the benefits, military and economic. I tell you, we are on the cusp of a new era of unity and prosperity. Territorial disputes are all that divide us now. But I have faith that we will find an amicable solution in time. And failing that, I'll have my trusty warrior of light box the ears of all concerned. Speaking of whom...
Alvino, I'm not your personal punching boy.
He will be joining us shortly. A matter at the quicksand required his attention, but it did not sound serious.
Okay, what follows is a very long series of cutscenes, and given that this is an already advancing episode, we do that next time. Until then, I am Mace, and don't get lost.